Kind of a very funny guy. Give a round of applause for Scott Kadrilk, CPA.
That's right. My name is Scott Kadrilk. I am a CPA. I'm not Al Franken's accountant. That's right. Al forgot to file his tax returns, blamed it on the accountant, threw him under the bus, and said it's the accountant's fault. Well, Al had a couple things for you. First of all, Wesley Snipes is doing 2 years in jail for forgetting to file his tax returns. And, well, Al Capone died in prison with syphilis after forgetting to file his tax returns. Al, the accountant never goes to jail. The accountant only goes into the witness protection program. George Bush is the smartest president we've ever had. No, that's it. He's the smartest president we ever had. Now, in this room, 1% of you agrees with that statement. 99% thinks it's a joke. Either way, I haven't offended anybody. I grew up in Idaho. My mom thought it would be important for me to take dance lessons. Larry Craig was my tap dance teacher. Now, you say, well, good old Senator Larry Craig. Yes, as a dance teacher, you're right, he is not gay. When I was as an accountant, though, I've got my heroes just like you do, and my hero is Alan Greenspan. Alan is the former chair of the Federal Reserve Board, huge in the accounting world. He's the accounting world's Ryan Seacrest. Alan, I've got actually a picture of him taken from his centerfold in Forbes magazine. Alan is big. I got to hear Alan speak at an accounting conference. We called it Nerd Fest. You know, they bring together a bunch of accountants. Alan gets up there, talks about the economy, talks about taxes, his spellbinding. The women wanted him, the men wanted to be him. You know, through the course of his talk, actually, the female accountants in the room were going up and throwing their panties up on stage. Now, if anybody you knows any female accountants, you realize those weren't frilly thong panties either, but big old granny panties were flying up there. They were like parachutes on 101st Airborne on D-Day landing all around Allen, and so it was pretty amazing. The Democratic National Convention is going to be held in Denver this month, and the people in Denver are having the same problems that the people in St. Paul are as they're getting ready for the Republicans to come to town. The Democratic Convention, it brings out a lot of protesters, and the people of Denver, the Denver City Council, has found it's taken upon themselves to prohibit noxious substances from being used by the protesters. Now, they've defined noxious substances to be buckets of urine and feces bombs. Now, you say buckets of urine, feces bombs, poo and pee has now taken over the Democratic National Convention. They're trying to keep the protesters at bay. What they found, though, is that the police are having a hard time tracking these people. They actually broke into a house the other day, thought they were storing excessive quantities of urine. They realized that the kids just forgot to flush the toilet. The other thing that's happening, and I'm worried about it myself, because each morning I go out and I walk my dog, and I have to pick up the poop. And so, before I get home, I have to reach down in the little blue bag, pick up that steaming pile of bomb material, store it in my bag, smuggle it home so nobody catches me with my poo. Poo and pee have taken over. Now, the ACLU has gotten involved. Now, think of this. You're sitting on death row, and the only person who believes that you should not be fined for your sins is called off to Denver to deal with some shit. Now, the bumper stickers are already out. You've seen them. If you outlaw poo, then only the outlaws will have poo. I'm Scott Kadrilk, CPA. Have a great night.